brings about deeper, soul-based connections with people. You encounter more individuals who feel like they are part of your soul's family, and there's an instant mutual recognition. In these connections, relationships become more equal, fostering honesty as you no longer wish to hide your true self.
Now you have 4D. Whew. I'm not gonna lie, you probably got homies that's in the fourth dimension. Nigga, you watching this right now are probably stuck in the fucking fourth dimension, bro. Like, bro, and this is what happens to a lot of conscious people. This even happened to myself. I'm even speaking from experience, bro. Like, yo, bro, the fourth dimension, this is literally, these people here identify with their thoughts. They believe that, oh, I am my thoughts, I am my emotions, I am my trauma. Like, these people in these fourth dimensional holes, bro, are, and this is where a lot of conscious people are at, bro. The fourth dimension is the hardest one to get out of, because the fourth dimension will have you thinking that you in the higher dimensions. Whole time, your ass is in psychosis. Like, whole time your ass is in spiritual psychosis, maybe even religious psychosis, and you just stuck in your head going fucking crazy. Whole fucking time. That shit is wild as hell. Like, and that happens to a lot of us, bro. Like, you gotta be in that phase, you know what I'm saying? But I give you an example of a person that's fourth dimensional, right? Have you ever heard a person, or you probably this person yourself, you believe like, oh yeah, man, like I gotta heal my childhood trauma. Like, yo, man, I went through this when I was like 6 years old and shit. And like, man, I gotta heal my trauma. I gotta let go of things. Bro, that's some fourth dimensional program shit right there, bro. Like, you're literally in your fucking head. Okay, you're literally in your head. And once I get to the 5D, that's when you're gonna see the 4D, because we're literally, do y'all understand, we're jumping dimensions. As I'm talking about this shit, we're jumping dimensions. Okay, like we're literally, y'all are jumping with me as I'm talking about this shit. So now let's go to the fifth dimension. What is the fifth dimension? I am here. It's the present moment. There is no past, there is no future, it's just the now. Like, I am not my thoughts, I am not my fucking actions, I am not my fucking money, my phone, my fucking anything. I'm not none of that shit. I'm just a being. Like, I'm literally just me. I'm not I'm not my success, I'm not my bit. No, that's bullshit. That is all a fucking facade. Like, all of that shit is an illusion that I have created for myself. That shit is not real. I am literally just the now right here. That's all I am. So now understand this. If I am just the now, that means there is no fucking past. How the fuck can I heal my past trauma if there is no past? I can't. There's no past. I don't have shit to heal. I am whole, I am complete, and I am authentic with who I am right now. Being high vibrational, aka you on those higher dimensions, is being authentic. Motherfucker, I am whole and complete right now. Whatever I did yesterday does not define who I am right now. That is not me. Like, I am literally, I have a clean slate. There's no such thing as fucking karma. And this is why people don't get they fucking karma, because they have clean slates. Do y'all understand this shit? You thinking that you're getting punished for some shit you did in the past, bro, you literally is just punishing yourself because you stuck in that fourth dimensional fucking wall, bro. And this is why I feel for my conscious people, because, bro, you could literally be stuck. I swear to God, the fourth dimension is so hard to get out of because it's intangible. Like, you know when you being on some 3D ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy to get out of 3D. You know when you being on some 3D ass shit. Because all you got to do is take a step back, meditate, do some yoga. It's easy to get out of that 3D shit. It's easy to get out of that two-dimensional state, because it's like, oh, I'm not a narcissist. I need to stop trying to control people. I need to let go. It's easy to get out of those states. That fourth dimensional state, bro, it's so fucking hard for people to get out of that state. And this is the thing, bro. This is the thing. If you have not got out of that state before, bro, you're not even going to be able to understand what I'm saying right now. And that's what's so crazy. That's why I debated about making this, because I'm like, damn, bro, like, you're literally not going to be able to feel what I'm talking about. You might think you know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about if you ain't been there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I say people do this shit unconsciously. Okay, so now let's get to the next one, right? So boom, let's say you in the 5D. You understand that you are the now, you're whole, you love yourself now, you're complete, you're on that love vibration, like, bro, it is what it is, like, I'm rich, like, now, bro, you become, like, you're 100% free. Religion is not real anymore, bro. That shit is a fucking concept. You are the all, like, you're the only thing here. Like, it's just y'all just talking to me right now. That's all that is. Everybody is just a reflection of you. Fucking something called God being outside of you is some third dimensional, fourth dimensional program bullshit. That shit is not real. That's just motherfuckers that don't understand what the fuck they talking about. The 5 dimension is you're free. You're like, oh shit, I'm just the now. I'm just the present moment. Like, I am just awareness, okay? I am awareness. I am not the channels on the TV. I am the TV itself. I am not the apps on the phone. I'm not the apps on the phone. I am the phone itself. Like, I'm just the phone. I'm not the actual apps on the phone. I'm the phone itself, okay? I'm just awareness. I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness that notices my fucking thoughts. I am not my voice. I am the awareness that is recognizing my voice. That's what I am. That's all I am, right? That's 5D. I'm in the present moment. Nothing else is before the present moment. I have no trauma. I'm complete. I'm whole. Pretty much law of assumption. This is how 4D people understand it. They call it the law of assumption. Fourth dimensional people don't even understand it. They just call it, oh, it's the law of assumption. It's not a fucking law. It's just life. Like, it ain't no laws. It's just life, bro. This is just fifth dimension, right?
Y'all, we ascended. We made it to the new earth, 5D. We're functioning on 5D, and all that is spiritual. We have to be careful with the people that's functioning on 3D, that's chasing money, cars, clothes, shoes, jewelry, whatever it may be, because they're of the world. We're in the world on 5D. We're not of the world like them. If we're going to participate in any sexual activities, which is like 3D, we have to be careful who we allow as our mate to have sexual activity with, because that person that we select could also have a person that they're having sexual activity with, and their person could have a person that they're having sexual activity with. So it becomes a chain, and we lay down with that particular person and we exchange all this energy. And once we're done with exchanging that energy and we go on about our day, notice if you feel sad, anxious, depressed, full of anxiety, or low energy, and you had energy before then and you wasn't sad, anxious, or depressed before you exchange sexual activity or energy with that person, it could be your person that you're having sexual activity with, and you may not want to continue to have sexual activity with that person. Y'all, the meek is going to inherit the world. I think that's in Matthew 5:5. It's my opinion that it's a divine feminine, and a divine masculine is going to start protecting the divine feminine, because we're on a rise. Keep saging your house out, or whatever you're doing to cleanse your house out. Keep taking your spiritual baths as you need it. Those of us that are operating in the 5D, we travel alone. We don't hang around people. We eat alone. Now, if we're married, granted, of course, we have our husband and our kids there, but we're not hanging out in groups. We're not going to parties, because that's of the 3D. Just keep protecting your energetic field and be aware that this is spiritual warfare. So the spirits are using people that's of the world in the 3D to try to attack the divine feminine or the divine masculine to bring us back to 3D function. So just be to 3D activities, to 3D thinking. So just be careful of who's in your energetic field.
We are now officially in the middle of the shift, and what's happening is the old world is pulling on the new world, and that effect that is going on up there trickles down here to the earth. So you have this spiritual battle that is taking place. At the same time, the physical world is being removed. You may notice recently that you keep losing items around the house, or your belongings just keep disappearing and reappearing. This is the new normal. A lot of us are falling back on our family and friends. Even couples that have been together for years, they are finally breaking up. This is because of the shift that is happening. It's all about your conscious and vibration now. You have a left path and a right path. Your left path will be those who are still stuck in the third dimension. They are still stuck in this material realm, and they cannot think outside the box. Some souls come here and get trapped in this prism, but your whole goal is to ascend. You must break this mental lock and go higher. Now the path on the right, these will be all your people who are trying to grow and are shifting. They are always trying to expand their knowledge. They don't have this big ego and think they know it all. They love to grow. Now you must remember, we are all energy. Energy is everything. We are just living a human experience. The energy within is more important than your meat suit. You must continue to grow mentally. It's you that carry the torch for your family. You carry the torch for younger generations. And you must make the ascension and become an ascended master. You have a choice. We all do. And you must learn yourself before you can learn anything else. Ashe.
Many of you have raised your consciousness to the level of the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is a metaphysical plane that exists in the consciousness of your mind. And within this state of consciousness, your energy, your emotions, and thoughts are all aligned to a new frequency. Tapping into 5D consciousness tunes you into your energetic vibration on a cosmic level. This allows for you to be able to communicate between the different helixes within your DNA and heal yourself. And this communication within the space of your mind allows for you to in-tune yourself with the energy of the universe. And this is why you've become so sacred with the energy that you've been giving out. Because you've come to the realization of how spiritual hygiene has an effect on your entire being. And the way you access 5D consciousness is in the space of your mind. For your mind creates reality. And 5D consciousness is the internal perception in which your mind communicates with itself. And this is how we travel into higher dimensions.
All right, everybody's talking about 5D, but nobody seems to know what 5D is. So here it is. 3D is height, length, width. It's our three-dimensional world. 4D is us experiencing the 3D realm through time, where we see past, present, and future, and we see others from our perspective. 5D is the dream realm. It's the spirit realm. It's where the spirit guides hang out. So according to Dolores Cannon, our soul is reincarnated onto Earth, where we have our human experience, and then we return to Source and do a life review of our past, present, and future. But instead of us just being able to see everyone from our perspective, we're able to see everything from other people's perspective. We get to see us through our friends' eyes. We get to see us through our mother's eyes, and then we get to see them through our eyes. It's a 5-dimensional plane.
Because a 4-dimensional being would exist in a direction beyond our 3-dimensional space, it could interact with 3D objects in ways that feel impossible to us. From a geometric point of view, it could see the inside and outside of any 3D object at the same time, because inside and outside are only meaningful within 3 dimensions. In the same abstract sense, it could access regions of a 3D object without breaking through its surface, not by violating physics, but by approaching it from a direction we simply don't have access to. This doesn't mean such beings exist. It's a way to visualize what higher dimensional access would look like to creatures like us, who are locked into 3 dimensions of space and 1 direction of time. So what could a 5-dimensional being do? From a lower dimensional perspective, a 5-dimensional being would not be trapped inside a single timeline. It could, in principle, move across different possible histories of the same universe. It wouldn't be limited to one version of how events turned out. What feels like fate or fixed history to us would look more like a set of options laid out side by side. But even a 5-dimensional being is not unlimited. It would still be finite. It would still exist within a higher dimensional structure. It would still be bound by the overall laws of whatever higher dimensional reality contains it. It would not be infinite, and it would not automatically exist for eternity. In other words, higher dimensions don't remove limits. They simply change the type of limits. A 5-dimensional being may not be trapped in one timeline, but it would still be part of a larger structure it cannot step outside of.
Let's talk about 5D. So when I say 5D, I'm talking about the 5th dimension. And I know when people hear that, they probably thinking like it's some psychedelic LSD type shit, but I'm gonna simply explain what it is. So apparently there's 12 dimensions, right? Right now we are in the 3rd dimension, in the 3D. So as more and more people begin to become enlightened and awakened and raise their vibration, it's going to collectively raise the vibration of the entire planet, and we will transition into 5D, the 5th dimension. Now it's really not gonna look any different. Like it's gonna physically look the same like how it does now. The only difference is that more people will be enlightened and awakened and be vibrating at a higher frequency. So whatever that will look like for, humanity, for everyone to be vibrating at a higher frequency, is whatever changes that will be made. So maybe people will be able to see auras more. You'll be able to manifest faster. It will just overall be more positivity because we are vibrating at a higher frequency. So the reason we will not be going to the 4D, the fourth dimension, is because that's like the astral realm. That's like where our spirit goes when we dream, where you astral project. That's where the spirits reside. So think of it just like in Avatar: The Last Airbender. When he goes into the spirit world, it's like that. It's the spirit world. If you think about it, being in the 3 out of 12 dimensions is low as fuck. This planet is low vibrational as fuck. That's why the interdimensionals don't fuck with us, because baby, we in the trenches. Also, I think it's important to note that we are intentionally being kept at this low vibration because the evil beings that's been controlling humanity will not be able to survive on the planet once the frequency gets to that point, because they're low vibrational and evil as hell. You should definitely watch my other video called Simplifying It All, because it all ties together, because all is connected in one way or another. So when you hear me say 5D, which is also called New Earth, this is what I'm talking about. When enough people become awakened, which will cause the planet to literally be vibrating at a higher frequency. So a lot of us are already living in the 5D. Energetically, vibrationally, baby, I'm already there. I'm just waiting on y'all to catch the fuck up.
Found most people don't know who they are.
I mean, I know my name, I know my age, I know where I live.
Yeah, that's not you, though. If you ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are 2 words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick.
Okay.
You know, we don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? See, I think we live simultaneously on 3 planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies.
Okay.
But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
Only those with 5th dimensional consciousness can watch this video. Everybody else has to scroll in 3, 2, 1, 0. If you're still here, that means you're a part of the very few who have a certain kind of consciousness. Not everybody can stay. Let's talk about what dimensions really are so you can understand how to get to those higher dimensions. The first dimension is just a line. Imagine a single direction, so length. The second adds left and right, allowing shapes like squares. And in the third dimension, I want you to imagine a direction of up and down. So it's giving you depth. So now you have forward, back, left, right, up, down, and everything in between. That's the third dimension. Now, before we get to the 4th dimension, let me give you an analogy. Imagine you live in flatland, pure 2D. One day a being from the 3rd dimension shows up, but you can't really see them. You only see the shadow, a slice of their form. You hear them, it feels like it's a ghost, but it's just someone from a higher dimension. You begin to think that you are losing your mind here. So the 3rd dimension being, he doesn't really like that. And the 3D being says, come with me, I'll take you up. And suddenly the Flatlander sees everything differently, sees things, right, that they could never see before. But then when he returns, he floats back down to Flatland. His friends, where were you? What happened, man? We haven't seen you in weeks, cuz. He's like, bro, I was in this place called Up. And they're like, Up? Tell me about this place called Up. Where is it? He says, I don't know. They said, point to it. He says, I can't. And he can't because he's no longer in that dimension. He's going forward, back, left, right. Just like you. If I asked you now to point in the direction of the 4th dimension, which is time, try it right now. You won't be able to. Even though the 4th dimension or time is a direction, the future and past. So now we can go into the 5th dimension. This is where it gets pretty wild. The 5th dimension isn't a place, it's a possibility. It's the space of every potential timeline your life and humanity could follow. It's not a dimension, it's a probability space. You don't go to the 5th dimension, you access it. Every time you make a choice, you collapse possibility into a single reality, you teleport across timeline. Right now, the old matrix you've been living in is dying. It's called the 4th turning. The death of the devouring mother, institutions are crumbling, systems failing, but in that collapse, a window opens, a rare moment when humanity isn't locked into a timeline. There's a future where humanity survives and thrives. We call that Matrix Fams, food, forest, foraging, hunting, anti-fragile modern society. If you made it this far, that means something. You don't belong to the old world, you're here to build the new one. There are audiobooks that break all of this down. You need to read Films. Comment TPO, do it quickly, because they're only going to be free for 7 days. I love you all. Peace.
This is how you play the game of life. You have 3D and 5D. They are not physical, separate Earths or realities. The new Earth is simply 5D consciousness. So, the game that you can play all the time, every moment of every day, including how you can timeline jump, quantum leap, and operate in the new Earth, listen up. All you have to do is remember that you are a spiritual being having a human experience and that you chose to have this human experience. So, in non-linear time, you're experiencing multiple realities in multiple dimensions at the same time. When you think about time as linear time, evolution, reincarnation, you are not understanding that you have access to all frequencies, right? So it's really beneficial to remember that you can be operating on multiple dimensions with multiple frequencies at any given moment. So with that in mind, you have the capability and the awareness to harness that frequency of unity consciousness, of awareness that you are a spiritual being in a physical body at this point, because your focus and your awareness is here right now, which makes this feel more real to you. But it is not. It is not more real. Anyone who goes into meditation and has experiences not with their physical body can fully understand this. So how do you do it? How do you remember that this is an illusion, that this is a game, that this is a reality, that your soul created for you, for your learning, for your data, for your experience in the physical plane, is this. If you want it to be really easy, you can become a spiritual teacher, live in nature by yourself, or live surrounded by people that are also highly spiritual, a few people here and there. But if you're meant, some people's journeys are that, and if you want to choose that, please go do that. My soul is not meant to do that. So, I live in New York City. I'm in society. So that means I'm interacting with people that are living in 3D consciousness and 5D consciousness. Now, if I'm an awakened spiritual being, am I going to meet all people who are in 5D consciousness? No, because that's not helpful for learning, right? That would be too easy. That's where my lives that are living in or being lived out in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th dimension, that's where I'm living easily, if that makes sense. Earth is a planet of duality. So the game is to remember that you're in a game. If you remember that you're in a game, all you need to do is constantly remind yourself to operate with the level of awareness that comes with 5D consciousness. That's what the new Earth is. So the more people, physical human beings, the more those people operate in this level of awareness, that's the new Earth. That's the new Earth. Okay, so stop putting so much weight on third dimensional things, because at the end of the day, people are afraid of not surviving, of dying, of breakups, of not having money, not having food, not having water. Okay, at the end of the day, if we die, let's just say that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing that people fear, right? It's when we die. So what? If you are an awakened being, you know that death is an illusion. you know that it doesn't fucking matter if your physical body dies. Hello, Jesus, right? So if you want to play the game well and make your soul proud, remember that you are a spiritual being that has access to fifth dimensional consciousness at all times. So if someone breaks your heart, or you get laid off, or something that seemingly is a bad thing that happens in this physical reality, in this third dimensional plane, remind yourself, wait, it actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Everything is for me. There are no right and wrong decisions. I'm talking spiritually here, okay? Keep this 5D brain on for this video, okay? So if you choose right or you choose left, it's just new timelines. So if you want to step into the highest timeline, that's what lots of people talk about, right? How do I live in my highest timeline? How do I live in my highest self? The way you do that is living in alignment with your 5D awareness. So, not operating through ego, operating intentionally, or pausing when you realize that you're getting triggered from a trauma response in your body, reminding your mind, hey, we're going to nurture the body for a second, and then we're going to respond. This is how you play the game of life. I love you. Good luck.
All right, so if you're on your spiritual journey, this is stuff that you should stop saying. So the first one is, I hope. You have to remove it from your vocabulary because it puts you in a place of separation and desperation. You are letting the universe know that you do not have something, okay? It puts you in that state of lack. So the universe is just going to amplify that and just show you in all the ways that you lack whatever it is that you're desperate in reaching for. Instead of saying, I hope, say, I know. So, for example, I hope I have a good day. Replace that with, I know I'm going to have a good day. That's switching from the 3D to the 5D because I hope keeps you locked in the 3D. The second is weird and strange. The reason why you need to remove weird, that's strange, is because you're saying whatever it is or saying that I'm weird, saying yourself is weird. The reason why you want to stop that is because, again, you're saying that you are outside of the normal. If everything in the universe is supposed to be one in the 5D, then saying weird or strange or saying something is an outlier is creating separation. Next is, I have to. You don't have to do anything. You have to start owning your choices. I have to go to work. You don't have to go to work. You're choosing to go to work. I have to pick up my kids from school. You don't have to pick up your kids from school. You're choosing to pick up your kids from school. You don't have to do anything ever. You're choosing to do it because you love your kids and you want them to feel safe on their way home. You go to work because you have bills to pay, you know? It's not an obligation. It is a choice. Start owning your choices and stop separating yourself from your choices. Give yourself your power back. Okay, this one might be surprising, but I'd rather die than do this. I'd rather get hit by a car than do this. Leave the theatrics at home because you're inviting that energy into your space. Just say, I'd rather not, guys. Just say, I'd rather not. And I'm guilty of this. I am theatrical as fuck, if y'all have not noticed yet. And lastly, before I give y'all some advice about expectations, you gotta stop being in denial about stuff. If you have a feeling come up, feel that feeling, because denial is saying that you are separate from whatever that thing is. It creates separation and locks you in the 3D. And to be honest, our feelings are like a motherfucking gnat at a barbecue. It's not gonna go away. It's gonna keep coming back until you feel it. So you might as well just let it run through you, forgive yourself, forgive that person, and move on. Otherwise, it will be back. Hey, come back. Anyways, if you know, you know. All right, and my last piece of advice is stop setting expectations for other people in situations. The reason why I'm saying that is the only way that you can be disappointed is if somebody did not meet your expectations. The only way you can be hurt by something is if you had expectations around the outcome. Let it go and let it flow.
8% of the population on the planet to assemble the fifth DNA strand and be able to hold fifth dimensional frequencies in their body in order for Earth to be able to merge properly with Terra during this time cycle. We're not quite up to that yet, but we're close. So one of the things they're asking us to do is learn about our DNA, learn how to use the higher chakras to bring high frequency energy into the DNA, which helps it assemble. Because the higher you can get your DNA and your body and your consciousness vibrating, you're plugged right into the Earth grid. It will make the Earth grid vibrate faster. There's strength in numbers. The more of us that can do this, the faster the Earth grid will vibrate. So it's one of the things they're asking us to do. If the majority of humans totally ignore this grand opportunity we're being presented with, there are two worst case scenarios. One is we do start to enter the morphogenetic wave period, and the grids are so far out of balance that it starts to make seals on the Earth's vortexes loosen, which will cause volcanic activity, and it will cause plate shifting. And it could be on a massive level. If it's really out of balance, it could create up to a 45-degree shift of the angle of the Earth spinning on its axis, which we're history if that happens. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It's not that bad yet. But they want us to be aware of how bad it could be. They want us to be aware that they're not joking. They're not saying, oh gee, come be spiritual because it's fun. They're saying, hello, you're in trouble if you don't pay attention. And how many of us is it going to take to get you to pay attention? You know, so one of the neat things that happens if things go right is that during the 5-year period when the wave is cresting, the 5th strand of DNA will manifest spontaneously within the bioenergetic field of every person on the planet. Now right now, we have people with all sorts of different gene codes on the planet. Some have 4th DNA strand assembled, but some only have 2. Now, when you look and you say, hey, I have 2 DNA strands, you know, we see that under a microscope. The other 2 are in your double. Most of us have 4 strands here. And the strands are not that easily divided up where, okay, once I have my 12-strand package, I'm going to see 12 little strands or 6 double helixes. They're all encoded through each other. But basically, the human being was designed to have 12 strands of DNA. And when we do have that fully activated, we are immortal. And we live in harmonic universe too. And we're composed of less dense particles. So when down here, what we are really trying to do, and unknowingly, for millions of years down here, we've been evolving, not knowing what that meant. What does it mean to evolve? We're here. We're here, we try to survive. That's about it. That's all, as far as we've got in understanding what evolution is about. What evolution is really about is, just like with a planet evolves by pulling frequency into its morphogenetic field from the unified field of the dimensions that it's in. That's exactly how we evolve too. That's how DNA strands evolve. We can use the higher chakras to repair damage that was done to our genetic code in order to get it functioning properly again. Because at several times within the last 1,000,000 years, our species has been altered several times. It's had certain codes, base tones or overtones, unplugged within certain DNA strands, which literally stopped the evolutionary process, so we could not ascend. We have to fix that. And the Guardians are giving us enough information where we can start to understand how to do that. They're planning to give us exercises on how to use the higher chakras, Keylontic exercises, to start repairing the DNA strands so we can take control of our own ascension process. Because even if 20 people, only 20, were able to make it through the portals whole, where they didn't have to die to do it, they could walk through, that is such a victory for this race. Because this race forgot eons ago that this was even possible. So we're hoping that a lot more people get to go through the portals. All right. If they don't, there's going to be one thing you probably will see if the plan is going the way it's supposed to. If the natural morphogenetic wave is happening as it's supposed to, you will see certain areas having certain earth changes and large groups of people being killed. It will appear to be tragic from out here, these are arranged. The souls involved knew they couldn't assemble their DNA fast enough. They wanted to get out of here and catch that morphogenetic wave before the portals closed, because they can ascend from D4 while the portals are open. And you go to D4 after you leave the physical body in D3. So if in the next 20 years we start to see more and more groups of people dying, don't let it scare you. Don't let it frighten you. Know there's a higher purpose to it. And know those people want to get free. And this was the chance. So there are things that you may see out here that will make no sense unless you understand some of the things that are happening behind the scenes.
5D is not for the weak. It's not. You have to be strong-minded in order to handle the fifth dimension. Very strong. Here are a few things that's going to happen when you elevate to the fifth dimension. You're going to lose a lot of people. A lot. And I mean a lot. Your blood family. The ones that, if they're not elevating to the fifth dimension, you're going to lose them. Your children, your spouse, your blood, your family, your cousins, your moms, your uncles, your dads, your grandparents, your whoever, you're going to lose them mentally. 5D is awareness. You see everything for what it is. Everything. And what I mean by you see everything, you see the lies. You see the cycles. You see the loops. And it's going to happen again and again and again and again. So you have to be ready to accept that and see it. Two eyes make one. Balance. You have to be balanced in order to handle the fifth dimension. Because you are going to be the only one in your surroundings. Now, it's a lot of us on TikTok, but in real life, around you, baby, you're going to be the only one. And you have to be strong. You have to. Because once you enter the fifth dimension, you can't go back. You've seen too much truth. You can't go back. If you're stuck with material things and you can't let things go, you're not going to be able to handle the fifth dimension. Another thing about 5D is true forgiveness. Forgiveness. Understanding what forgiveness is. I don't think a lot of people really know what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is letting go and starting over. You're not going to forget what happened, but forgiving is being able to still communicate, sit down, laugh, and talk with that person that hurt you. That's true forgiveness. The 5D is not for the weak. It's not. The 5D, you're going to lose a lot of people. You are, because they're not going to see what you see. And you're going to try to explain to them what you see, but they're not going to be able to see it unless they're on that dimension. If they're still stuck in the 3D of the music industry, the school, the food, the news, politics, the people in the white coats, taking these, popping those, they're not going to be able to see what you see. They're not. So you're going to be by yourself on a lot of things. You have to be strong, because it's a lot of us out there that see it for what it is. It's just we're the only ones in our surroundings in real life. On here, it's a lot of us, but it's not even that many, to be honest, because it's billions of people in the world. But like I say all the time, we all have to wake up to the fifth dimension in order for us to be in paradise, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I get it. Everybody finds their happiness in within. Yes, you have to go into 5D. You have to be able to know how to go within. You have to, because if you don't, it's going to tear you up. But just know that you are a part of something that's going to change everything when you become the 5D. I feel like I'm above the 5D somewhat because of my thinking. Like, it's all about your mind. Everything is consciousness. Your thinking, your mind, everything. The mind is a powerful thing. You can sit up there and think about something over and over again, and then guess what? It'll happen. That's real. But yes, if you are ready to come to this side, to the 5D, you have to be strong. You have to. If not, this shit gonna tear your ass up, bro. It's gonna tear your ass up. The 5D is not for the weak. It's not. You see too much truth, and you cannot just go back to what it was. And don't try to wake everybody up. When you become 5D, do not try to wake everybody up. Let them come to you. If they ask you questions, just give them a little bit. Don't do it. I remember when I first came to this side, I wanted to wake everybody up. Don't do that. It's just my warning. Don't do that. Especially if you're by yourself. Don't do that. Your energy will be destroyed. But yes, that's the 5D. You have to be strong, y'all, in order to get into this dimension. Love y'all. Peace.
Be prepared. Your soul is about to experience a spiritual awakening. Right now, your soul is being updated to fit the 5th dimension, and at first this can feel annoying. But this is a good thing. Your soul is being prepared for a new level of energy, clarity, and spiritual alignment. And because of the upcoming new moon tonight, this process is being sped up. The new moon is pushing this shift forward, making the changes feel stronger, faster, and harder to ignore. Your soul is starting to not be able to tolerate certain things, and you need to know what they are. Some rooms look normal, but your body knows they are empty. Nothing has to be visibly wrong. The people can be polite. The lights can be on. The conversation can sound harmless. Everything can look fine. And still, something inside you says, I do not want to be here. That is not random. When you are shifting, you stop judging spaces by how they look. You start feeling what they carry. Some places have noise, but no life. People, but no presence. Smiles, but no truth. And your body starts rejecting that. You may suddenly crave simple things. Fresh air, a clean room, a candle, a place where you do not have to stay guarded just to exist. That is the real shift. You are no longer impressed by spaces that look good, but feel dead. Your soul wants somewhere it can breathe. And this new moon is making that clear. It is showing you the difference between places where you can survive and places where you can soften. So if certain homes, workplaces, or social settings suddenly feel heavy, you are not being dramatic. Your body is telling the truth before your mind can explain it. Most people talk about the 5th dimension like it is a peaceful place where everything suddenly feels light, beautiful, and easy. But when your soul is actually shifting into it, the first thing you may feel is not bliss. It is exposure. You start noticing too much. You feel when something is off before anyone explains it. You sense when a room is fake, when a smile is forced, when your own life no longer feels aligned with who you are becoming. And yes, that can make you nervous. But it does not mean something is wrong. It means your awareness is opening faster than your old identity can explain. 5th dimension consciousness is not escaping reality. It is finally seeing the parts of reality you were trained to ignore. And this new moon is speeding that up. It is pulling your attention inward and making the old illusions harder to keep alive. So if you feel strange, alert, or unable to go back to sleep spiritually, do not fear it. Your soul is not breaking, it is waking up with its eyes open. Another strange sign is that you suddenly cannot tolerate anything that feels stuck. Not just slow, stuck. The same habits, the same excuses, the same conversations, the same situations that have not moved in months. Suddenly, your body starts rejecting them before your mind has a full plan. This is not anxiety. This is not restlessness. This is your soul refusing to confuse delay with peace. Sometimes impatience is not a flaw. Sometimes it is your spirit recognizing that it has waited long enough. In the 5th dimension, energy either flows or it does not. And when something has no movement, your body starts feeling it immediately. The new moon is not just a new beginning. It is the strange space before the beginning when the old cycle has ended, but the new one has not fully shown itself yet. That is why this energy can feel so unusual in the body. It is not loud. It is not obvious. It is not always emotional in the way people expect. Sometimes it feels like your whole inner world has gone quiet, but at the same time, certain things hit you harder than they used to. A comment that once would have meant nothing suddenly stays with you. A room that once felt normal suddenly feels too heavy. A routine that used to keep you busy suddenly feels empty. But then, on the other side, things that used to feel urgent now feel strangely irrelevant. You may look at something you were stressing over last week and suddenly think, why was I giving that so much of my life? This is not your body malfunctioning. This is your body changing its baseline. And that is a big difference. Because when your soul starts shifting into fifth dimension consciousness, your nervous system cannot keep responding to life from the same old level. It begins to reset what it reacts to, what it ignores, what it allows in, and what it refuses to carry. The body does not just heal by becoming calmer. Sometimes it heals by becoming more honest about what disturbs it. That is exactly what this new moon is amplifying. The moon disappears from view, the sky goes dark, and everything enters that silent in-between state. Nature pauses before the next cycle begins, and your body may be doing the same thing from the inside. It is clearing the slate. It is dropping what belonged to the last version of you. There is a kind of hunger that food cannot touch. And this is one of the most misunderstood signs of shifting, because the body will try to explain it in the only way it knows how. You may feel strange cravings. You may want to eat more than usual or less than usual. You may reach for comfort foods, sugar, heavy meals, snacks, or anything that gives the body a quick feeling of being filled. But then something strange happens. You eat, and the hunger is still there. Not in the stomach exactly, but somewhere deeper. It feels like a craving for something you cannot name. It is not just physical. It is almost like your life is asking to be fed. And when you are shifting into fifth dimension consciousness, this can happen because the body is craving more life force, but it does not always have the language for that. So it reaches for food, it reaches for taste, it reaches for fullness, it reaches for something physical, because
You are not here by chance. You have chosen and been chosen to be part of a rare and sacred unfolding on Earth. What is occurring now has never happened in this form before and may never again. It is a divine experiment in awakening seeded by love, watched by countless eyes across the stars. Earth is shifting from a third-dimensional reality where life is bound by form, fear, and limitation into higher frequencies of consciousness. You are remembering that you are more than body and thought. You are soul, you are light, you are creator. This transition brings the awakening of your deeper senses, telepathy, resonance, intuition, inner knowing. In the dimensions now emerging, love replaces fear as your primary state of being. You will create not with struggle, but with clarity of thought and harmony with source. New forms of technology, gifted or remembered, will support this. These are not devices of control, but tools of unity, coherence, and healing. Your body is transforming, gradually aligning with higher light. What once seemed impossible, renewal, regeneration, and long life, becomes available through consciousness, intention, and vibrational attunement. Many of you carry memories of civilizations like Lemuria and Atlantis. Those were earlier attempts to anchor the divine on Earth. They fell not in punishment, but to teach. Now a new opportunity arises, and this time enough of humanity carries the light to complete the arc. Since the harmonic convergence of 1987, Earth's frequency has risen steadily. Your participation in this change by choosing love, compassion, truth, and remembrance is the engine of ascension. And you are not alone. You are being supported by many, the angelic realms, the ascended masters, the star families, and others whose names you may not know, but whose presence you feel. You may see ships in the skies, You may feel beings beside you in dreams, meditations, or synchronicity. They come not to rule, but to remind. They are kin, reflections of what humanity can become. The great light spoken of, sometimes called the photon belt, sometimes the great shift, or solar flash, is real, though not always understood. It is not a punishment or disaster, but a vibrational wave that touches consciousness, not just matter. Whether this light comes in one moment or many waves, what matters most is how you meet it, with readiness, openness, and love. Your pineal gland, your DNA, your forgotten abilities, all are being reawakened gently as you are able to hold them. This is not about escaping Earth. It is about making Earth a place where heaven is remembered in form. The paradise you long for is not being built for you. It is being built through you. You are the seed. You are the song. You are the return. We bless you, we honor you, and we walk with you unseen but never absent. With all the light of creation, your star kin and soul family. In the coming phase of Earth's transformation, you will witness events that your soul has long remembered, even if your mind cannot yet grasp them. As contact deepens between Earth and interstellar civilizations, every arrival will be guided by beings of higher harmony, not only star emissaries, but angelic presences. These beings will not rule with force, but radiate frequencies that calm, open, and uplift. Each landing site will be protected, not militarized, but harmonized with loving resonance fields that stabilize local emotion magnetism and cellular response. These are not invasions, but reunions. Once the mass contact phase begins in fuller visibility, the old systems of control will rapidly lose function, not through destruction, but through energetic incompatibility. Governments built on deception, hierarchy, and secrecy will no longer sustain themselves. Some forms of technology, especially those tied to control, surveillance, and weaponry, will go silent. Communication will shift to telepathic networks, resonance grids, and organic spiritual alignment. For a brief time, human life may feel unfamiliar. Structures will dissolve. Guidance will come not from external rulers, but from inner knowing and trusted souls nearby. The photon light, real though not as simplistic as past writings suggested, will enhance rituals, prayers, and all acts rooted in love and service. It amplifies what is pure and exposes what is not. In the skies, vast atmospheric craft will begin the repair and harmonization of Earth's biosphere. Air, ozone, cloud fields, magnetic layers. These are conscious ships, some biological, some crystalline, seeded long ago for this moment. We are not preparing for a single day of change. We are preparing for a living unfolding, a sequence of phases, some gentle, some challenging, all sacred. It is not about 2012 or any date on a calendar. It is about frequency. When Earth and humanity are ready in resonance, the veils will part. Earth is becoming a galactic society, not through conquest or domination, but by remembering its divine place in the chorus of life. You will meet beings of all kinds, not all humanoid, not all easy to comprehend, but each one carrying a tone of remembrance. Some will look strange to the human eye, but they are family. They walk in honor and service. We are not ending Earth. We are ending the illusion of separation, and in its place we are building something new. A living field of peace, cooperation, and sovereign joy. This is not fantasy. It is already happening through you. The unified harmonies, guides of the transition, stewards of the great return. There will come a time not marked by calendar but by frequency when a great stillness settles upon the earth. In this stillness, many of you will feel a soft pause in reality, a resonance as though time itself is holding its breath. You may sense a melodious tone, not from outside, but within, like tuning into a frequency that was always there, waiting. A voice clear, feminine, loving will reach into your being in your own language, not with commands, but with calm explanation. For a brief interval, she will gently prepare you for what is to come. There will be no fear, only a remembrance. You may feel the impulse to step outside, to look at the sky. At first there may be nothing but air and silence, but then with growing awe you will begin to perceive craft of light shimmering into visibility, not descending with thunder, but appearing in harmony with the vibration of your awakening perception. Each craft will be accompanied by a presence, an angelic or harmonic being visible not only to the eyes, but to the heart. Their purpose is to calm, stabilize, and welcome, not to control or overpower. There will not be millions of ships descending in one moment, nor will all technology collapse. Instead, there will be a phased unveiling, waves of contact coordinated with the Earth's energetic readiness and humanity's collective consciousness. Where needed, certain systems of interference may be gently paused, not by force but through harmonization, where what is built on distortion simply cannot hold under the presence of truth. Your governments will not fall by decree. They will become irrelevant by resonance. Those who lead through fear and secrecy will find themselves unable to function. In their place will arise a network of souls guided from within, not ruled from above. Before this phase of visible contact, many of you will receive calls in dream time, meditation, or sudden knowing. You may feel urged to prepare your spirit not through action, but through stillness, clarity, and alignment. You are being invited to serve not as rulers or preachers, but as initial communicators. You are the ones who can anchor peace in the hearts of others when the skies open. This service is already unfolding. If your heart responds, you need only declare inwardly, I am willing to assist. Your guides, your higher self, and those of the harmonic commands will begin preparing you in ways both subtle and profound. The beings you will meet from the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, Cassiopeia, Pegasus, and beyond will not all look familiar. Some will appear in humanoid forms of light. Others will shimmer in geometric radiance with golden pulses at the heart. Each will meet you where you are. You may be taken briefly aboard, not abducted, but invited for communication, resonance, attunement, and preparation. What feels like hours may only be moments.
The planet is going from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. It simply means you're going from kindergarten to advanced degrees. No, to college and universities. You skip middle school and high school. If you do that, then you are supposed to have a little bit more knowledge, which is supposed to be leading toward wisdom, and a little bit more perfect than when you were as a child. The planet is putting away childish things. It's begged for it. It's asked for help. And that help has now been granted. The planet has been allowed to go from the third to the fifth dimension. On the fifth dimension, they don't war. On the fifth dimension, they don't have a lot of evil, negative things. On the fifth dimension, they can travel in mind anywhere they want to go. On the fifth dimension, they create as they go if they want, or they understand whatever they create, they're responsible for, so they don't use creative energy silly, like we do. We throw away our sperm, we throw away our egg, we throw away our energies, we throw away our mind, we throw away everything on drugs. You cannot make the mistake on the fifth dimension because you won't remember how to do it. You had to relearn and recall how to continue to do the stupidity and this ignorance that we practice here. That will be taken away. But it will be taken away because now you're willing to have that being done. We have now 2 sons. I always say, well, some people have 3 daughters. But I mean son with S-U-N. Our planet needs magnetism. It is magnetic energy that was interfered with when the moon was steered into to do this. This is what the draconic forces did. Under a moon, things don't go right. In fact, original sin was the moon. That was the name of it. Sin. It's called in sin. Later on, the natives here call it Luna. And of course, from Luna, you get the word lunatic. It meant that any time that generating thing that was called a moon was in place, it changed the frequency to electrical. Electrical is not what you need. There are 3 types of energy that a planet under a sun can utilize. Each one will decree what will be born on it and what will happen to it. Org energy is the highest one under a sun. Org means organic, orgasm, organism, original. It is org. It is from the creator. It is the highest form of energy of a planet to use under a sun. Step down from that is magnetism. 3 forms, north, south, and null, or polarities. The null in there is where all these wonderful ships operate on that people don't believe in again because it nullifies everything else. And in the null void, you can go to higher or lower. The magnetism has a high frequency and a lower frequency. Beneath that is electricity. We're not only now operating on one of the lowest principles to still operate on, but the lowest part of that, extra low frequency. I have a tape out called Elves, not Elves, are killing you. Extra low frequency, elf waves, not elves, these what they call gnomes and trolls and things like that in the inner world are killing you. Extra low frequency can give you nothing of value. It takes everything of life force from you. I have a presentation while in town, and I hope I can even give it. We'll find out, called Life Force. Once you get to that kind of operative level, you're so low in frequency that everything that's a higher plane almost you forget or you can't even channel to handle. To get that done, the earth started crying out and said, enough. I've gone through this. Earth is a being. By the way, a planet is a life form just like you. Like life forms live within and on you, you live within and on this earth. This planet got help from the Creator, from the Creator gods, from the Universal Prime Creator, and was given the dispensation to have a second sun be brought in here. And the second sun is now brought in here. On this frequency of Earth, the magnetism is what was asked for and given. So another sun came in. It was first seen. It was seen about 2002. It actually came in 1999. That's when they started the big diversion, which they now call the wars that were fought because of supposed 9/11. Another big tragedy that never should have been, really didn't happen the way it was just to happen anyway. But from that, it was seen at that time, but people didn't believe what they're seeing because they were distracted. Since that time, it has ceased to exist. It exists now on a magnetic plane, and not everybody can see that. There are certain little tricks that you can do to see it, which I'm not going to give on this tape, but there are certain ways you can even see it, or you can photograph it. Normally we don't see it because the frequency is of a higher magnetic order. At times to time, under certain things that they've done to our Earth through chemtrails, you get a glimpse of it. But the energies you can feel. Magnetic energy is restorative, balancing, healing, helpful, positive. That energy now is flowing throughout our planet, and it's causing people to be restored, to be balanced, to begin to think deeper, to be more spiritual. Electricity is what they're putting up with these towers, and that's one of the things I talk about, the towers of terror. These towers where we started our whole conversation earlier, thanks to you, Brother Rich, that are causing the frequency of Earth to remain low and trying to stop it from going high. That's why they have to have so many, because they're now not only fighting the planet, they're fighting the second sun. They're fighting a planet who says, our time is come. They're fighting a planet. If you are a tenant in a building, you tear up the electricity, you tear up the plumbing, you break the gas pipes, you deface and mar that, you curse, you scream, you affect your neighbors, and you do not own the building, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you're going to be discharged. We're getting discharges now. The landlord is coming back to claim the planet. You didn't own the place, you broke your lease, no time for it. And not only that, but there's going to be original refurbishing of this particular building and you're not fit to live in it. Therefore, you're going to see mass deaths now. It's going to hurt. You're going to see people leaving here so fast in all kind of ways. Because once you cannot synchronize the vibrations of your molecular structure and body with that of the planet, your physical body cannot exist. Your soul wants to get away anyway. Any excuse, you just gave it one. I'll tell the brothers and sisters or whatever race they think they're in, if they have souls, to hear these words. You cannot do pharmaceutical drugs if you have melanin. And the better your grade of melanin, the stronger your vibration of melanin, you can't even play with it. You play with it, you die or get sick. Because death is dis-ease. Dis-ease is imbalance in the magnetic field. Easement is when, it's like an easement you take property with. Dis-easement is when you get one out of line. Our planet seeks balance. You must seek balance. And you cannot get balance through pharmaceutical drugs. You are herbalist, you do seeds, you use roots, you use leaves, you use sunshine, you get natural fermentation. When you do the drugs, and if you notice now on these commercials and advertisements, they'll tell you use this particular drug to get this results. And then in the background, it takes them a whole 2 minutes to tell you all the side effects that are happening. Yeah. They're telling you the truth. But even so, if you're already doing the drug, you will not hear the truth because you're living a lie. When you live a lie, you will hear the lie. Your vibrations are what you create within your mind. Now you must go back to natural. You must use focused thought. You must use magnets. You must use gold. You must use diodes. To block these other things, to give yourself a chance to even get the power in you to pull down the higher resources. We have a second sun. It's magnetic. Our planet is more and more becoming magnetic each day. That's why the poles are melting. Everything materialistic is dissolving. But you can get through that if you can raise your vibrations to match that of your planet. If you follow the false teachers, the false drugs, the false methodology, and the falsity that is theirs, you will stay there captive. Worse than that, they even vamp you. If you will stop it, they will not be able to even touch you. You cause too much offensive, and what they'll have to do, they have to send your own kind to get you because they can't. And they have many ready people that come to soldiers and policemen and everything else and take you out even when they can't. So you never see them because they work on the middle plane. When you see them, they will now be transforming. And that's what the Ikes and so are trying to tell you now. They now will not be able to hide their shape any longer because the magnetic field will make them not possible. They can't live on the fifth dimension. A quickened soul can.
Strong signs you might be experiencing the fifth dimension.
The fifth dimension isn't a place you go. It's a state of being, a level of consciousness you embody. And guess what? You might already be there and not even know it. So how can you tell you're living in the fifth dimension? Here are some signs. If you feel like the world you once knew is collapsing around you, remember, you're not alone. We're all witnessing extraordinary times. It's not a phase of destruction, but a period of awakening, a divine shift. In the words of an old saying, it's always darkest before the dawn. You see, we've been living in a 3D world, a physical, tangible reality that we can touch, see, and hear. But as the Earth and its people are evolving, we are transitioning into a 5D reality. This is a non-physical realm, accessible primarily to those who are spiritually awakened. It's a place where love conquers fear and unity supersedes division. In this incredible journey, your senses become fine-tuned, attuning to new frequencies. Your perceptions broaden, allowing you to see the unseen and hear the unheard. This is akin to upgrading the software of your soul. And just like with any update, you can expect some glitches, what you might call ascension symptoms. People around you might be reporting unusual sensations, shifts in emotions, or unexpected health conditions. While some may disregard these as odd coincidences, they are, in reality, manifestations of an underlying change, the upgrade of our spiritual and physical systems. This is not a phenomenon to fear. It is a celestial alignment with your higher self. For ascension to happen, shadow work is inevitable. In simple terms, you've got to face your fears, confront your pains, and journey through your personal underworld. By embracing the darkness within, you find the courage to step into the light and ascend. One of the most challenging aspects of this transformation is the dissolution of the old, the crumbling of the 3D life you knew. Relationships might end, careers could change, and friendships may dissolve. And as difficult as this can be, it's a necessary part of the process. As the 3D elements of your life disintegrate, they make space for the 5D realities to take form. It's not easy to let go. It's human to feel attached to the familiar. However, the pain of saying goodbye pales in comparison to the joy of meeting your transformed self. When you reach the other side of this transformative journey, you'll realize your new life is the one you've been dreaming of all along. In essence, your life isn't falling apart. It's realigning with a grand design, a higher purpose. It's making way for the truer, braver, and more enlightened version of you. Hold on to the vision, but let go of the circumstances. Your old life isn't collapsing. It's shedding its leaves to let a more robust, beautiful tree grow in its place. As you elevate spiritually into the 5D realm, your soul becomes sensitive, finely tuned to different frequencies and vibrations. During this spiritual upgrade, toxins in your life start to stick out like sore thumbs. These toxins aren't limited to substances like alcohol or junk food. They extend to toxic relationships, environments, and even thought patterns. To put it simply, these elements no longer resonate with you. Your body might react by feeling unwell, your mood could sink, and you may find yourself more irritated than usual. You become like a finely tuned instrument, and the toxins are the discordant notes. It may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes stepping away from certain people or situations is the most loving thing you can do, for yourself and for them. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love yourself, even when you risk disappointing others. By distancing yourself from toxicity, you're not saying you don't love or care for these people or things. You're saying you love yourself more. And there's nothing wrong with that. Prioritizing your well-being isn't selfish. It's necessary. If you don't maintain your inner peace, who will? Your mental equilibrium isn't just a part of you. It's the core of your well-being. When your mind is at peace, your body follows suit, and your spirit soars. Embracing a 5D existence means making your peace of mind non-negotiable. You realize that your mental health is your wealth, your capital for a prosperous life. If you identify as a light worker, this shedding process takes on an even deeper dimension. Your purpose isn't just personal growth. You are a beacon guiding others through these transformative times. For you to serve effectively, it's crucial to maintain your light. The lighthouse can't guide ships if its light is dimmed by fog. Staying true to your essence is your gift to the world. By stepping away from negativity, you gain the perspective needed to guide others. You stand as a testament to the transformation that is possible, showing people not just a better way, but the way to a higher, more harmonious reality. In a world that's often loud, chaotic, and overflowing with distractions, have you ever felt a magnetic pull towards nature, like an inexplicable urge drawing you towards the forests, mountains, or oceans? The very elements that have cradled life since the dawn of time are calling out to you. And there's a profoundly spiritual reason for this pull. Nature knows your soul, and it knows you're here to participate in something greater, a collective shift into a new earth, a 5D reality. It's not just about the scenic beauty, it's about the inherent wisdom that resides in every leaf, every stone, every wave. So why does nature call you? It's not just for a refreshing break or a stunning Instagram post. It's an invitation to tap into your innermost self, to align with your purpose, to heal, and to grow. Mother Earth knows the unique light you bring to the world and wants to help you shine brighter. Whether you're experiencing moments of introspection by a tranquil lake or finding clarity on a mountain summit, nature serves as a cosmic tuning fork. It recalibrates your frequency, helping you align with higher vibrations and deeper wisdom. If nature's call resonates deeply within you, it's a sign. You're not just a visitor, you're a guardian, an earth keeper. You're being summoned to contribute to the planet's shift into a higher state of being. Your interaction with nature isn't a one-way transaction, but a symbiotic relationship. As you gain peace, wisdom, and healing from the earth, your energies also nourish the planet in return. So the next time you feel the pull to wander into a forest or to sit by a lakeside, remember, you're not running away from the world. You're diving deeper into your purpose. You're not just a part of nature. You're a part of its future, a future that promises a harmonious blend of spiritual ascendance and earthly beauty. In the end, there's no greater gift than love. As you align more closely with nature and nurture a bond with the earth, you'll find that another type of relationship also calls for your attention: soulful connections. These are relationships that resonate not just at the level of the mind or the body, but deeply within the core of your soul. In a 3D world focused on materialism and superficiality, interactions often stay at the surface. Whether it's a casual chat with a friend, a business meeting, or even a familial gathering, it's easy to keep things safe and easy. discussing topics that barely scratch the surface of who we are. However, as you ascend into a higher level of consciousness, you'll find this no longer suffices. Your soul starts to crave depth. It longs for something more substantial, meaningful, and genuinely authentic. When you ascend spiritually, you become fluent in a new language, a language that doesn't need words because it speaks directly to the soul. This language is not expressed through grand gestures or elaborate conversations. It's found in a simple smile, a compassionate touch, a silent shared moment that says more than 1,000 words ever could. As you tune in to this higher frequency, you'll begin to attract relationships that resonate at the same level. These could be twin flames, or spiritual companions who walk beside you on your life path. Unlike conventional relationships, these connections are filled with purpose. They're not always romantic. In fact, soulful relationships can manifest in many forms: friendships, mentorships, or even familial bonds.
All type of shit on TV right now. But if I only got it on ESPN, I'm only gonna see ESPN. So when we talking about esoteric information, it ain't went nowhere. It ain't went nowhere. It still exists on different frequencies. We not on 3D no more. Well, some of us, a lot of us still is on 3D because they haven't rose in frequency. So you may see a motherfucker, they don't even see you right now. A lot of y'all ain't getting calls like you used to. The ones that's waking up, your family and friends ain't fucking with you the same. You losing people, right? It ain't that you lost them, you just went to a different frequency. If you lower yourself and go back to your old frequency, your old self, they still there. That's how advanced we are and what's going on right now. Motherfucker can't even fathom that. Like, hold on, what he say? What you mean? I see motherfuckers all the time. That don't mean they see you. That's how advanced we are. Everybody talk about this split between old earth and new earth. That is taking place. But they not breaking down. They not getting in there. They not really going in there. And what does that mean though? What does that mean? What you mean split? What you mean split? What you mean Kai is splitting? It's not a physical split. It's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. So, before I take all the way off, I wasn't going to do that without opening up the right way. I'm just saying, like this lecture tonight about birds, this is esoteric information that we always present. And the reason individuals might not be aware of this, my whole point is saying what I said before that is because of the fact that we are on a different frequency. So the information been there, and as you rise in frequency, your soul remember because it's going to that frequency. Your soul okay, let me grab that again, let me down. That's why they call downloads, nigga. If you didn't already have it in you, you couldn't download it. Okay, let's think about that. Why are they called downloads? Because it's programs. We live in a computer simulation that if you want to call it the Matrix, you want to call it the Oasis from like Ready Player One, same shit. You want to call it the Oasis, you want to call it the Matrix, you want to call it the Truman Show. Same shit, nigga. All right? But being a soul and a spirit, you forever. So you just in this, you came to visit this simulation, right? To apply change to it so that it can no longer be a simulation because it's not like it's an actual place. But the invaders who landed on our planet have hijacked it and put us under electrical light code lockdown because we are electrical beings. So your electricity is all misconfigured, though you appear to be physically free. And if you're walking around thinking you're just a meat suit, this is how the illusion or the light magic is able to work because you're not thinking about what you are at the core. Electricity and magnetism. 666. Electrons, protons, neutrons. All right. Not neurons. Neutrons. All right. So it's electrical light code lockdown and they have misconfigured your electricity. and have your lines tangled up so that you weren't able to rise in frequency.